All right, welcome and thank you for joining us. Each time we do this, we're given a word or a phrase about what the topic is going to be about. And the topic tonight is centering. Centering. All right, if you'll give us just a moment, let us step aside and allow those that wish to come through come and chat with you about that topic. My children, we have selected this topic tonight for you. We wish for you to understand a concept that you say all the time, but perhaps do not get on a very deep level. We are asked questions about your experiences in the third dimension. We know that you are evolving, you feel it, you know this as well. You know that you are shifting and moving and that the energies around you are different. This is beautiful. Sometimes it is difficult. Sometimes it is stressful, but that it is actually, from our perspective, a beautiful experience, and we see the outcome. And we know as you grow and as you move that things are shifting in the right way, even if at the moment it does not feel this way. One of the questions we have been asked and we have shared before, but we wish to share with you again, and that is that centering is important all the time. To breathe, to do that heart breath that you were just taught, to do the heart breath that brings you back to the present and brings you back to a place of center. People have asked, as you evolve, do you no longer have problems? As you evolve, do you no longer feel emotion? As you evolve and become more and more awake and more enlightened, what is different? Yes, you still have a physical form. Your physical form, as long as you are here in this realm, you still have problems. You still have aches and pains. You still have blocks, struggles, family issues, things that come up. You still have emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, depression. You still feel these things. And as you grow and you evolve, you find you shift. And the way you shift is that things happen around you. You see the chaos as you see on your planet right now. You see the chaos that is taking place. You see the chaos in your own lives. You see what's taking place. You feel the emotions that you feel. And as you evolve and move to the next levels of this game of life, you will find that your response is different. Things flow past you faster. You may feel anger. This is fine. You are in this body, you are in this experience to feel, to have an experience of what this is like. But as you continue to grow and find your center, as you continue to grow and find your balance, you understand that you are no longer pulled by the emotions. You are no longer pulled by the situation. You may be momentarily. You may allow that feeling to come, feel it completely inside of your physical form, in your emotions, in your mind, in your body, in your ego. And then you breathe and you recenter and you allow it like a river to flow. You allow it like a cloud to go by. You do not grab hold. You do not make it your identity. You do not say, I am always angry. I am always depressed. I am always anxious. It is important that you do not identify with things that are meant to be transient. that you do not identify with things that are not who you are. When you center, you remember you are source. You are God, Goddess. You are the all that is. Just having an experience in a form that you call a body. We have told these beings to refer to it as an avatar, such as in a game, because we want you to look at it from a distance. Be an observer of the experiences, not caught up in them. Again, for a moment, you may find you have the emotion. For a moment, you may find you have the issue. All of that is appropriate and beautiful. Experience your life. Do not be detached. And do not be attached. Please hear that. Do not be so detached that you have nothing but bliss all the time, because that is not why you are here, and that is not real. And do not be attached that you make it your identity. It is important that you stay centered, and that in that centering, doing that heart breath, 𝗘𝗠𝗟𝗟 heart breath that you have been taught, in that centering, whether it is movement as you did a moment ago or sitting still in meditation, as you find that beautiful center, you find that you no longer are as reactive to the situations around you. You become more proactive to those situations. That is moving up the levels of the game. That is when you know you are evolving. Again, you still have a form. You still have problems. You still have a physical body. You still have relationships. Those will continue. Whether you are in 3D, 4D, 12D, 100D, you are in a form. Please hear that. You cannot ignore this. You must take care of this. It is your avatar. You must repair it. You must take care of it. You must treat it well. And you know it is not you. I am not my body is a phrase you need to say. I am not my emotions is a phrase you need to say. I am source having an experience. I am connected. I can see what is going on around me and stay in a place of peace. This is what we wish for you. This is what we ask that you look at and focus on. How in this moment of chaos may I stay centered? How in this moment of emotion can I come back to my center? Allow those things to flow, to move, to float by like a cloud. Not holding on, not identifying with. You are source. You are the light. You have just forgotten. We see your beauty. You have just forgotten. We ask that you center through meditation, through peace, through being in nature, whatever it is for you. The laugh of a child. Find that joy. Find that peace. Find that center for you so that you can go back to it. You can do this breath pattern. You can go back to it when things are stressful, when things are a struggle. You can go back to that beautiful place and remember who you are.
Centering. When you are in your unawakened state, you go from pillar to post. You swing radical swings. One day you are happy, one day you are sad. One day you are peaceful, one day you're angry. And it's a constant shift. As you begin the awakening process that each of you are in at this time, what you find is those swings do not become less radical. Actually, they may become even more rapid than what you were accustomed to before. This is why we say to you, you must learn to center. But please understand that centering does not mean that you still do not move from point to point. What it means is instead of being here, your shifts are here. Now, this takes time, this takes practice, but when you can truly get to that center point, that still point, that 0 point, you will find there is great peace in that silence. There is great peace in no movement there. And you will not stay there when you are in form. You will eventually be nudged off to one direction or the other. You will have a thought that arises. You will have an emotion that follows that thought. Then you must return to your consciousness. You must return again to that space where you remember you are source. You are not your mind. You are not your body. You are not any physical thing. You can never be harmed. You can never die. Anything, and we have said this to you before, anything in this realm that can be harmed is not real. It is part of Maya. It is part of the illusion. Now, centering. What does it mean to be centered? It does not mean that you should ignore those feelings and deny what is happening for you around you. It does mean you simply look at them, you look at that experience, you look at that emotion without judgment. You step back, allowing yourself some space between the physicality that is experiencing that and the being that you are. When you have stepped back, you begin to recognize it is only the play of thought. It is only the play of emotion that is driving you from pillar to post. Simply step back. Do the heart breath or any other form of breathing that you may find beneficial, and they all are. Step back, breathe, calm. Connect again to that river that is source that flows through you from above and below. Connect, ground, center, calm. We have said this to you many, many, many times over many lifetimes. When you are fully on this journey that you are now on, this ability to release, to surrender, to accept is paramount to what you must accomplish. For you will find the calmer you become, the more centered you stay, the happier, more peaceful, more joyous you become. There are many ways that we would suggest you learn to center. Meditation is one. Being in nature, if this is something that brings you peace, is another. For the avatar that we are speaking through at this time, nature is a wonderful tranquilizer. Yours may be something else. You may find that you become completely centered when you are gardening. You may be completely centered when you are knitting or when you are playing music. Whatever it is that brings you as an individual source from source, whatever brings you that peace, that calm, that centering, lean into this at this time. You will need it more and more. Life, as all of you have discovered, is speeding up. Yes, it is speeding up. It is continuing to speed up. It will continue to speed up until it is moving so fast you think you're standing still. And that is centered. Let that energy of life flow through you without attaching, without trying to direct, without trying to control. Simply be in that space of centeredness, of groundedness.
We wish to give you a secret that you may not already know and you may have heard before. When you are centered, when you allow things to flow and you are not trying to push the river, is when you manifest. Many of you ask, how do I manifest? How do I handle this? How do I do this? How do I do that? It is all the same. We wish for you to understand that by staying centered, by staying in a space of connection with all that is, but not attachment, feeling things as they pass through, but not grabbing hold, allowing things to flow, that is when you are able to manifest. Because instead of the manifestation being from your mind, I want this, I need that, you open yourself up to what is in your highest and best, and the thought of what is to be manifested comes from above. When the thought of what is to be manifested is from above and not from your mind, it happens quickly. As was mentioned, time shifts. When you are able to stay in a centered space, you see time differently. You have had this experience yourself already. You know that you say things like, when I am stressed and struggling, time seems to go very slowly. When I'm having a good time, time seems to go very quickly. When you are in a space of true centeredness and connection with Source and remembering who you are and listening and hearing the guidance from your highest and highest self, you find that it is almost as if you are watching things go by and that things just happen. Doors open, money shows up, health takes place. And it is different than when you are fighting and forcing. When you are fighting and forcing, or your mind has an idea of it must look like this, it must be this way, it does not happen. You struggle. We wish for you to have less struggle. We wish for you to have more peace. We wish for you to find more balance in your experience. As also was mentioned, there are many things happening right now, many energies coming in, many shifts taking place. We see this. We see the storm that is brewing. We see all of the changes that are coming. And we say to you that if there is one tool we can give you to ride the storm and not be scathed, it is centering. It is remembering. It is connecting. If you can stay in that space, or if you leave that space, you come back very quickly. It is practice. It is training. When you get there, when you feel the energy of 𝐼𝑛𝑞𝑢𝑖𝑟𝑖 that is brought in, you understand that what we are sharing with you is the energy to help shift your life. We are sharing with you this energy to help you come back to center in the midst of the storm. When you are in that place is when you manifest always, quickly, all that is meant for you. Not all that your mind wishes. What is meant for you. And we encourage you to be open to this, to go, what is in my highest and best? What is it that in my life would make things easier, more helpful? What is it as I pass through the darkness that I need to remember about my own light? And how do I connect with that light inside of myself to brighten the darkness around me? It is through centering and remembering who you really are, remembering your connection to God. God is source, whatever you wish to call that being, connecting to that undifferentiated energy. By doing that, you will find that the blocks fall away. You will find that the doors open. Again, may or may not look exactly like your mind thinks it should. Your mind has exponential expansion. Your mind is always thinking, and your mind is always saying, more, more, more. That's nice, I want more. That's nice, I want more. We are asking you to say thank you, and to be present with what is given to you, and to know that the guidance is coming to help you through the darkness and to help you move to the space where you remember your own light and where you're able to shine and be present and centered. Please know that we are always with you, yourself, your higher selves, your guides, your people, your angels. We are all from the different planes with you, guiding you. You just must listen. We ask that you take your mind. You also call this sometimes your ego. We ask that you take that part and say, thank you. Now please step aside. I wish to hear from the higher realms and open to the guidance that you have. That is when you will receive what is next. You will see the path clearly. You will understand your connection to the all that is. When you are centered, when you are present, you have more peace and things flow and you manifest all that is in your highest and best. We love you and we wish for you always good. We wish for you always the best. And sometimes it is difficult to get there or to know or see that. But be aware that you are not alone. As the turmoil and things are changing and energies are shifting, you are not alone. You are not alone. You are guided. Changes and shifts are coming. It is time. Things are shaking up. It is time. Be open to the higher realms. Be open to your connections. Allow mind and ego to step aside. It is time to evolve. It is time to level up. It is time to move next, and next. It's time. But you must practice being centered as the shifts are coming in.
As was said, things are shifting, things are changing, you are shifting, you are changing. Those around you are shifting and changing. Please be aware of one thing. As you are going through this, and as you stay more and more within that 0 point, that still point of centered, you will discover something else. Some of you will like this, some of you will be less than enthused about its effects. But what will happen is you will begin to discover that as you become calmer, as you become more centered, you have opened the space for those who are around you to allow their stuff to rise to the surface. This is not something that you have done. It is simply who you are as you stay centered. You are opening the space for their healing to occur. This is often brings about discomfort because those around you who are not perhaps as ready as you for this healing to occur may choose to step away. They may choose a different path than what you would choose for them. And this is as it should be. When these things occur, we remind you to simply look at them in your mind and say, I love you. I accept your path completely, and I set you free. We give this to you. We have given this to you before because it is not about freeing the other person, just as forgiveness has nothing to do with any other. It is about setting yourself free to be who you are, to be that divine-centered being who looks on all of life with compassion, to be that divine-centered being who knows that all is well no matter the appearance. Because these are the gifts that being centered brings you. Even on those times where things are occurring that you wish were not, if you will remain centered, it is as if you are standing within the eye of a hurricane. All is swirling around you. There is nothing you can do to control that swirl, but you are in the center. You are in the calm. Let it swirl. Do not take anything that is coming at you in this time or any time personally. It is not about you. It is about the process that is unfolding around you, within you, and within all those beings connected to you at this moment. Take the time to reground, to recenter. Take the time to breathe. Take the time to meditate. Take the time to write whatever it is that allows you to move out of the momentary point of chaos and back into the center that you are. Breathe, walk, remember, you are source. You are all that is in form, and so is all that is around you. When you remember this, you begin to release your expectations of what someone or something should be, for there are no shoulds here. There is only is. This is what being centered means. It means simply looking at all of life as it is, without the projection of what that meant to you before, or without fantasizing of what it may be for you in the future. Right here, right now is the moment of centeredness. Right here, right now is the moment of power. Right here, right now is the moment of peace. We ask you all, we invite you all to step into your own center. Breathe, relax, center, and remember, all is as it is meant to be, and all is well. And we will leave you now.
And so it is.